call.
Okay, we're
You
sure
good?
now.
Yeah. I thought I was safe at 4, but
Oh,
not so much. I know it was with my boss.
you couldn't skip that.
That's weak. Anytime you drive through Wasso, roll the windows down, make sure
I
you
need to really wrap this
stop
up.
at the gas station. Leave it, play in your pocket when you go in there.
Sure.
Make sure I took advantage of getting all the pens I could from
Yeah.
Pens are the one thing I didn't grab.
the, what, really?
There's a
No,
lot
I
of
grabbed.
cool stuff though.
There was.
I mean, like I use coffee cups almost every single day, but one of them, the one with the gym floor on the bottom,
Yeah.
it's not dishwasher safe.
No, yeah, it's huge.
And it's an
Oh,
nice.
you wrecked it already?
I didn't, but I caught it just in a nick of time. And usually I don't allow those things to live in my house that have to be ironed or.
So the sheets you have and the keychain you have, that came from School Boards Association, their new online training platform.
Gotta get Jake built up with more points so you can get that award this next.
40 years, Jake.
Like I've been living 40 years.
Yeah, when you get to my age, you're way past it.
Are you leaving?
What's that?
You're.
We're on.
We're on?
Yeah.
Alright, we got 5 o'clock. Call to order. Maybe we'll start with a roll call quick, since that's what our agenda, our meetings.
Erickson here. Grant here.
And you're here?
Keel here.
Wall here. Erickson here. Warner here.
Alright. Stand for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alright. Now, do we all go through the agenda? Do we have any comments on the agenda for approval of the agenda?
I'd like the head coach for volleyball, I'd like to put that as new business and have a little discussion.
Alright, we have a motion to move the head coach just off the consent items for the volleyball, move that to the new business for action item.
Then I wanted to just talk about them containers, where we're gonna set them for sure.
Okay. I guess we have we'll probably start with the motion to, we have to have that as a motion. I can't remember, I never really pulled anything off.
Yeah, you would just do a motion and second the discussion.
Troy made the motion to move the volleyball coach and put that off for an action item, new business item. We have a second.
I'll second it.
Brian, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll move the volleyball coach.
It'll be 9.4 on the agenda, I'll
Will be moved to 9.4 on the agenda.
Yep. I'll edit that one.
Okay. Then Brian mentioned just something to
Just a discussion.
have a discussion for the, where to put the storage containers.
Put that as 9.5.
Yeah, so we still do a motion.
Alright, we have a,
I'll make a motion.
Megan makes a motion to have a discussion for the indecision for the containers. We have a second.
Second.
From Jake. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next time we'll create a 9.5 for the storage container. Discussion and decision. Other than that, do we have a motion to approve our agenda as read after adding the changes, moving the coach to 9.4 and then the containers to 9.5?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Megan makes the motion, we have a second.
I'll second that.
Bruce Grant seconds that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to approve our agenda items, or approval of the agenda itself, so. Guess we can I can maybe see about saving some talk, is,
Yeah,
are you
so-
planning on
so
talking?
You could say Miss Warner wants to make it, just, talk to
Miss
her.
Werner doesn't need to talk, so then that'll save me from going through our public comments. I don't see anybody else sneaking in here yet, so. We have until I turn the page, throw stuff that Mr. Godfrey. Alright. Did we have we don't have any superintendent, student advisory?
We don't, because of the early out, the weather and closure, yes, so we'll have them on the agenda for next month.
Okay,
They're excited, somebody in particular is excited,
somebody,
but she won't talk for some reason.
I asked her if she was coming tonight, nope, Bowen's doing it.
I'll make sure she gets a leading partner.
so we'll make the note, we'll look forward to seeing them in the next month's regular meeting then? Are they gonna show up for our study session too?
They'll probably be at the regular meeting.
Okay. Well, we're on to 4 already, do we have any board reports? Right here, anything, otherwise we can move right on to our staff reports of, this is where we can cover the business manager then?
Yep, I'll go over this manager report. I just wanna look at that last one, the finance report. You can see on there, and I'm also gonna cover Jordy's report embedded in my report, but those right now are our current revenue and our current fund balances, a couple things. General fund balance, that's gonna change because remember we did do a transfer in from the construction fund to zero out fund 6. Food service is up, again, we have to look at spending down part of that, cause by state law, we can only have so much excess in there, and right now we have more than twice the excess, so I'm working with Jordan. There are some possible salaries we can fund out of that, other than just kitchen staff salaries, so that will actually put more revenue back in our general fund unassigned. Community fund is still holding pretty strong. Construction, we had talked before, that's our debt fund, and that's continuously building revenue, and we'll have another bond payment again next, debt service payment again next January, February timeframe. So that's where we had that 2-point-some million payment come through, so this is what left. So we had a little excess. The thing about debt service fund, you can actually levy 110%, and that's what you do because of the taxes not coming in consistently on time.
So is that payment, that's an annual payment, just once a year?
Yes, yep, and basically what it is we pay off interest on that, those bonds.
So we can do 110%,
Mhm.
but I imagine we get to some point, we back that up because you've collected in advance.
Correct, so we collected, once you collect over that amount, so once you collect over a certain amount, the state will take it back. So they won't take it back necessarily, they'll drop the amount you're levying. So far, we haven't gotten to that point. If we do, I can estimate it'll be about 10 years, then we'll start looking at that imbalance where we're collecting more revenue than we need. And we're allowed to hold. It takes about that long, cause up front your interest payments are bigger and they shrink over time. Okay,
What is the repayment, sorry, what is the repayment on those bonds? Is it 15?
It could, the amount of years?
Yeah.
20.
It's 20,
20 years, and that's a typical bond referendum, it's a 20-year payment.
I
okay.
thought it was on 30, is it only 20 that we?
Yep, I don't believe you can go over 20.
Okay, so schools finance over a 20-year period.
Yep.
Okay.
Student activity is still strong. Community ed, I'm still very, very happy with community ed. Our revenue is outpacing our expenditures. That is almost unheard of. So I'm glad to see that. Then there's accounts there, liquid assets still standing strong. So right now, with the exception of that transfer from construction fund to general fund, our cash flow is looking good. As a matter of fact, I talked with Jordan again the other day. He does not believe, again, we're gonna have to access that revolving line of credit.
Hallelujah.
Good, that's a good deal for us, for sure. Any questions? Again, I'll have more to cover when we go through Jordan's report too.
Okay. That'll put numbers a little bit more clear to us too when we go through.
We get a little bit better idea.
Is there any other questions regarding the business? Did you had a question earlier, was that just on Fund 6?
Yeah, this is the Fund 7, that's
Okay,
income
you did-
coming
you
in,
did
so
answer that.
it's cleared that up for me.
Alright, otherwise. Any other questions? I don't know if everybody had a chance to go through all the forms there. Some of them were, get used to clicking the one and you find, oh, that was the short one. So. Other than that, we can move on to our, is that all you had for the business manager right now? or-
Yes.
Well, we can invite Mr. Pack up for the activities director.
Quite a bit of stuff in there. And he talked about moving the volleyball coach down, so I had in there, Paige Lingle, interviewed here last week. Then also, in talking to Abby at West Walnut Grove, she recommends, number one, moving Bill Berry to the assistant track coach position, and then hiring Heather Olson as the junior high track coach. This isn't adding a position. They had two people at Westbrook retire or leave, and so, and we had discussions last year about adding Heather as a fifth coach. This is as a fourth coach. Just that we have two of them now, they have two of them, so just wanted to clear that up. So it's not like we're sneaking it in there or anything, but they had two from WWG leave, and she requested to have Heather move on board. So that's a little change to move. Mr. Berry was junior high track coach last year. Move him to assistant track coach this year. And the resignation, I'm going to see resignation for Ken Drangen. I'd personally like to thank her for 12 years of the program, helping shape these young women as athletes and members of our society. Winter seasons are winding down. The wrestling team's already done. Girls individuals are done. Congrats to Zoe and Izzy for placing at sections. Girls basketball has playoffs tomorrow already. In Fulda, 7 o'clock. Wrestling individual sections are Saturday at Springfield. And then boys basketball playoffs will start next Thursday, hopefully at home. We will know that on Monday morning. So, should be at home, but who knows? So good luck to all those teams and individuals. We had a meeting a few weeks ago. I think, as I've said, our school is going away, which has kind of been our scheduling platform, which links to our website. We met with the company Arbiter a couple weeks ago, which is who our school got bought out by. None of us really liked it, loved it, but that was kind of what the state has a contract with them, you could say. We met with the other company yesterday, which is called Bound, and it was unanimously chosen that we're gonna go with Bound. It was just a way more user-friendly, AD-friendly thing, so, price, I would assume the prices are pretty similar. I think our conference dues are $330 with our school last year. I think these are $400 or $500, which Arbiter already jacked the prices up last year, so who knows what their price will be next year, so. There'll be a lot more information about that as we set up like meetings, because there are individual packages you can provide, whether you just want the scheduling stuff or if you want the registrations to all go into that system. There's a fan site. Bound has been in Iowa for years. They basically use it for everything. So just a little heads up on that. That'll be coming. I'll probably be able to get more details next month once I actually meet with the company. They meet with each individual school to see what they want. Things like digital ticketing, concession, stuff like that can all be into that stuff. So spring sports start very soon. It's hard to believe. March 9th for softball and track, and then baseball's pitchers and catchers can start on March 9th, and then the 16th for golf and baseball. Knowledge Bowl season's kind of in the middle of the swing here. Their regions are on March 4th at SMSU. Spring season is just kind of getting underway. I think they're 2 weeks in now. And so a lot of stuff happening with our kids, which is great to see. I think it's great to see all of our kids involved in activities in some form, whatever they're doing. So I think that's all I've got. So without any questions.
Yeah, nothing. I can think of, yeah, you don't know more on that Bound. You said the next.
Yeah, I literally was yesterday.
So-
We were planning on going to Arbiter and a couple other conferences called and said, you guys gotta listen to this presentation. So we did. Our biggest holdup was we didn't want to go to a company that we didn't know if the state high school league was gonna like support it. You know, like all of our rosters have to be entered into the state high school league site and things like that. And so once we found out that 200 other schools have already jumped on board, because none of us liked Arbiter. We all love our school, but they're not around anymore.
Our school just made it easy. It was very
Yeah.
popular too, so too bad.
Yep. So, yeah, none of us are happy our school went away, but this bond looks like it'll be pretty user friendly.
That's good. Maybe, sounds like there's some options for, that would tie together with what some of the previous discussions had with like the ticketing and some of the other.
Yeah,
stuff.
there can be, I mean, it doesn't have to be, it can be
No.
just used like we use for our school, or it can be all encompassing. Link it to your website, I mean,
But
it was designed by
there.
ADs, it was designed by schools, and they just got, every one of their workers is a former AD or a administrative assistant, so they understand their back end is very user friendly. So.
It's just nice to hear that maybe there's some other options we can gain with it to get some more value out of it possibly.
If you pick one you don't like, it's your own fault, you picked it.
The conference picked it. Yeah, the conference picked it, but I would,
Conference thing.
Okay.
We get,
yeah,
we
it
have
was a
somebody to blame
unanimous
on
decision.
that.
That's right, don't look at us.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Was there any other questions for?
Jake, you can put your chair up if you want.
Hmm?
You can put your chair up a little bit if you want.
I'm good.
Catalog is set up? Is there any other discussions for Colby? Other than that, we can probably turn it over to the superintendent and principal report.
Yep, I'll just pull up my report first and I'll show you other documents. So I'll go through capital facilities bond and let you know the update. We got a request approval from the state commissioner to move forward with the sale. So that should happen on March 4th. That board, the board will have a resolution for that night. That resolution will basically call the bonds for sale. And we should have those funds in our account by the end of March, which means as I go through Jordan's sale, or Jordan's report, you'll see what that'll do. That'll balance out everything, pay off vendors, contractors, what have you. Solar for Schools update, I'll go back to Jordan here.
Real quick on that, so when we pay them off, the bonds won't pay the full outstanding bills.
Yep, between what we transferred into general fund, so the funds we had in general fund plus the sell the bonds will be enough to pay contractors off. We'll still carry a deficit in general fund because we're over the overage, but that's what the capital facilities bond will pay off over time. Solar for Schools update, I met with them again recently, continuing the application process, got them building plans, we got them, last year's worth of utility bills, and then I'm working on some questions for the contract with the state. And as soon as I get that done, they're also talking with Andy Thompson now, instead of me being the go-between, cause I didn't know exactly what they needed, he kept asking me questions I couldn't answer, so they're working together this time. I have the West Central Service contract, I'd like to kind of tell you about some changes I asked for in that. And then I've got the MSBA legislative platform you guys can look through, it's very similar to MASA, JD Collaborate along it. One big one you'll see in there is asking for an increase in local optional revenue. We can currently levy $742 per student, they're asking for an increase to a little over $900 per student. Because that amount, $742, has been there for years and years and years and it's not been changed.
Like as a base, you mean?
Exactly, yeah, it's not changed and it doesn't match inflation, increases in costs. So we'll see what happens there. They tried last session too and it didn't fly, so.
Badly?
No, it just never, I don't think it was ever voted on, it came
Oh,
to
I didn't even
floor.
get,
Yeah, it came to floor and they just didn't have, but remember, they were more concerned with going into a debt. So I think most of the focus on that. This year, because it's not election year, or it is an election year, you're gonna see very little budget wise. So typically when there's an election year in the legislature, which is 2026 will be an election year, you're gonna see very little movement towards spending more money. So we're not gonna get any dramatic increases. The off year, so they have a year that's called finance year and a policy year. Policy year is on election year where they focus on policy language. Finance years are when they don't have an election and they focus on that, because nobody's gonna vote for a legislature that dramatically increases their taxes, but it's kind of the way it works. Okay, I'll go back and go over the written report. Just a few things, we show that drop in cash reports, again, because we did that big transfer. So as always, there's your pie chart that shows basically where the funds go. The majority of them or where they come from, the majority of our funds right now are food service. I can't believe food service is at that amount. I can't believe community ed is at that positive amount, honestly. I have never seen that before. So,
Is it because we're not paying an additional director for
um,
community ed?
it could be, and actually, I don't know if I explained this to the board before, but legally to hire a director has to be somebody that either has a 4-year degree in community education or the superintendent. That's exactly the way the state lays it out. So it's possible we can take, and we're gonna have to wait till closing out, but it's possible if we're still have that much of a surplus to take some of those funds and pay the superintendent, part of the superintendent's salary with it, which again will free up more money in their unassigned general fund. We have to just wait till we get there, and right now Jordan's very cautious because of,
Yeah,
a lot of
there.
things. Fund balance reports, again, that big dip, we made that big payment and debt service. We did that big transfer, and you can see unassigned general fund balance at the end of the previous year was approximately $170,000. Negative 1 million, 1.1 million, that's because of that transfer, we just really ate up that. So there's a breakdown of the funds. A lot of those are they're just finance codes. For that grayed out part, that's the unassigned fund. If you'll remember, there was a nice healthy beginning reserve building up in there, but that's gone, but that will actually decrease over time as well as the capital bond funds come in. So general fund budget actual comparison kind of gives you an idea of what we're spending the majority of our funds on, almost 50%. Staff wages and benefits, so a lot of it goes to those parts. Contracted services is a lower amount, and that would be the co-op, a variety of different things, probably our legal services too. Again, food service fund balance, and he's got it listed down here what it should be. So really it should be about 123,000. It creeps up a little bit each month. Again, working with him, there's some things we can do creatively and legally to bring that down to the threshold it's supposed to be at. If we don't, the state's gonna ask us to develop a plan. But we kinda have a plan in the works as it is.
So what do you know on the, we can use that for certain salaries now, you know that here pretty soon?
Yeah, well, we can use it for part of the superintendent's salary.
Okay.
We can, I believe, use it for part of Colby's salary because he monitors the lunch room and he helps out at lunch, and we should be able to use part of it for Stacy's salary because she does the billing and everything for food service.
Okay.
So I just emailed it off to kind of my strategy to Jordan today. Just wait for him to get back. They are working on that consolidation, and I talked to him yesterday about it. He said he's fairly certain it's gonna happen. So that's gonna limit his ability to expand what he does for us. So I'll get more into that when I talk about the co-op contract.
So famous is that salary, is that like a percentage that the state allows them, is that how they
Yes.
go off of it?
Yes, it's a percentage based on, gosh, what was it? It's a percentage based on how much of the budget they use or something like that.
But they have a
Yep.
formula that they use, so
Yes.
we don't have to worry about
Correct.
not doing it wrong.
Correct, there's a formula. So it might not be a whole lot, but whatever it is, it frees that up and unassigned, so.
Yeah, for sure, I mean, if we can, but if there's still leftover and we still need to get down, we should look at getting the things that are needed.
Kitchen.
Like we had talked long before we were even in here about a different salad bar where they could keep things.
I was waiting for certain people in that program to find one and let me know
Yeah.
if they want it, so
Yep.
I'm still waiting on that part.
Or we had talked in the fall about the oven situation.
So looking at the oven situation, I've talked with, they do use the oven, they just don't, they aren't able to use it for what they want.
Right,
And then talking to a few other people from Taher, there's no room for a bigger oven. Another thing we looked at is a second serving line, so we got a quote for that, it's about 50,000.
yeah,
Jordan wanted to wait, he wanted to wait because we're gonna do a budget revision probably in the next month, so. Some districts will do a budget revision every year based on what does our reserves look like, what do our in and outs look like, some just don't. So we're gonna do that, and it kinda wants to wait till after that to see what everything looks like, so. If we can put a lot of these salaries in there, that's gonna bring it down considerably, but not not that amount.
Not the whole way,
Right.
yeah.
So I'll have more information when we work on that budget revision. And then I also plan on starting to work on budget proposals beginning next month. I like to start in March. Doing an initial budget proposal, bringing what our expenses, projected expenses for this year are, and just bringing those directly over and looking at what our next revenue would be, and then working backwards from there. So there'll be cuts. And I'll bring that to the board when that time comes. I'll look at cuts and maybe material cuts. We're looking at elementary, we're gonna have to move some people around in elementary just because we have a smaller class coming up. That class is getting the higher grades now. We're taking about 41 students from sixth grade, put them in seventh grade, big class. We have a couple smaller classes. It's kind of like,
A shift more than a,
yep, we're just gonna move somebody around. The problem is if we put somebody on involuntary leave, we're gonna wind up hiring somebody back. Which means bigger grades come back up, so rather than doing that, we have some pretty good loyal people, and I just wanna work to keeping them, so we'll move some things around. And we talked about some reorganization with that part-time title teacher.
yeah, I was just gonna say that.
We have room to make sure we keep everybody on board. So I'm not worried about that. I did put their minds at ease when we met a couple weeks ago, we talked about that. I asked them if they would like to give input, and they said no, they want me to just come up with it and tell them what they're gonna do, so I'll be the one that is flying from the flagpole is my guess when we're done with that. But I'll actually come up with some type of scheme, give it to them, and then get some input from it.
Does the food service fund, does that qualify for stuff like in the concession stand?
Yes. So the concession stand falls under our food license, our food service license.
That's what I figured. Just
Again, looking at general ed revenue, took a big dip and then coming back up. Unassigned fund balance, we knew that was coming. So that big drop simply because of that transfer of the construction budget. Special ed revenues, as usual, not keeping pace with expenses not keeping pace with revenue, and that's where we have our cross subsidies, so we pull a lot out of general fund for our special ed funding, and there you have it.
Cause you're working on utilizing, that was discussed before, and some funds that would go for special ed, you've been working on that, getting what
Yeah.
Jordan brought to our attention, and
So we've been working on MA funds. MA funds are medical assistance funds, so a lot of our related services can be charged back to Medicaid. We could probably, I don't know, I don't wanna even give an estimate, we can bring in thousands of dollars a year. But we haven't had that charged to Medicaid. So we do have Pat Lindeman, one of our special ed teachers, been going through the training, she'll take over that responsibility once that training's done. And it's not gonna be a huge amount, but if we need to buy a special ed vehicle, we can use it for that, special ed curriculum, we can use it for just about anything but just special ed. But that will take some of that relief off of our general funds.
did that open up to be able to, cause we send the kids down to, they go to Wyndham, is that considered a special ed site too or not?
It depends on what they're going to Wyndham to. If they're going for the ALC, no.
Okay,
ELC, which is their learning center, that is like a setting 4. So that's, in special ed, you have 4 levels of settings, and that'd be setting 4, where it's usually special education school. That possibly could.
I was just kinda wondering when you mentioned about the transportation, maybe we could utilize it if we needed something
We
to.
could do that, we
An
could
additional-
definitely use transportation. It's pretty open-ended what we can use it for, but it has to be special education.
Yeah.
Then I'll go over, if there are no questions on that, I will go over the service contract with a co-op. So I'm gonna run through these line for line real quick. The environmental occupational health, we need to keep that. We have an inspector that comes into our building every month to look for OSHA hazards and to warn us and to help us manage those. At one time, I didn't like it in my last district until we got a surprise OSHA inspection, and he was right there. Our man from our co-op was right there and took care of pretty much everything, so I appreciate it now. Health and safety management assistance, we'll keep that. Business services, that's payroll, we'll keep that. It's a lot of influential for Stacy. They don't do Stacy's job in payroll, what they do is they work in the system the smart system, so they're able to change coding in there and do a variety of different things. That we will, and I had this in my last district, we always had services from Region 1, and there are different regional hubs that help with this, so even Jordan said they use Region 3. So that's a pretty standard thing. Basic technology services, technology integration, I told them that I want to discontinue that. We need to work on building our funds up, so as you guys noticed today, everyone got an email from Mr. Runt that he's retiring. So we'll look for somebody to take over that position when the time comes, and possibly they'll do tech integration. So basically it's training teachers on how to use AI, Google Classroom, a variety of different things.
Can I pause for just 1 second?
Sure.
What is the difference between business services and business management services?
I skipped right over business management services. So business management services are the business manager and with the budget. That's another thing that I have told them I wanna do. I wanna discontinue that flat amount and go hourly. I talked with Jordan, he said that equates to about 256 hours. He said he's very doubtful we'll ever get close to that amount. It's $95 an hour. So I've asked if he can continue doing, so I let you know, we were talking about expanding his support. He says he won't be able to do that, but he could most likely continue with the same support
Okay.
he's giving us. The monthly reports to the board, and quarterly he'll go into the budget and clean up coding, which makes a big difference and move money around for us where needed. So we'll go to $95 an hour and probably spend a fraction of that. That's what we were contracted for this year.
You know exactly where I'm going with this.
Yes.
Which is, I don't wanna be double paying for the same exact tasks. If Jordan is willing to keep doing this at a higher level, it just seems wasteful.
Yep, I agree. And we'll need them for some instances, but probably, I mean, if the biggest thing I want in Jordan is that monthly report allows me to see where we are as far as spending down our budget. And, you know, do we need to start tightening our belts more? And I think we're gonna end this year with a surplus. So we're gonna end this year probably with a bigger reserve than we had intentionally thought we would, simply because when we cut off requisitions, our staff has been amazing about that. You know, basically it's only what they need. I'm very proud of them. When I put that out, they withheld a lot of things, so I'm proud of that. We've been pretty critical on some things, so I think we're gonna find our ending fund balance is gonna be higher than was projected. So we'll have some need for some services, but with Jordan, he's able to go into the system and manipulate a lot of different things. He can do balance transfers, main thing is that monthly report and quarterly cleaning up coding.
And yearly budgeting
Yeah.
assistant, but yeah, if we can back that off and go hourly instead of flat rate, no brainer.
Yes. So that's gonna be a savings.
Cause that would be on the business management services, right? That'd be the
Yes.
one you go to per hour, but then the other one would stay the business services would stay the same.
That would stay the same, cause that's payroll services.
And I'm sure it's showing as one line on here, but I'm assuming that when you actually enter into this, you know exactly what they're doing for that amount of money for those
We do
services.
further down,
Yeah,
further down the contracts are separated out. So-
okay,
And I had Jordan look it over first, and we met, I said, I want you to take a look and see what you can offer us.
yeah,
From the co-op, and that's where he said go to hourly. And I emailed them, they're sending me a new contract. It has to be completed by March 11th, because by March 15th, if they have any layovers, by statute, they have to notify employees, so I'm just waiting on the new contract with those changes. E-rate services was included with the WAN. So E-rate services, we get reimbursement from the states, from the Federal Libraries Association. We get a lot of reimbursement for a lot of our tech needs. And Leonard has been doing quite a bit of that. Stars Online Academy, that is our online program through the state. We do have a few students that use that program now. School psychologists, these NACs are standard. We share school psychologists for special ed services, ECSE, which is our preschool special ed teacher. We share her with other schools, deaf, hard of hearing services. We do have a need for that. Physical therapy, same thing. ECSE coordination, so there's a coordinator that oversees all ECSE teachers, and that cost is shared by all schools in the co-op that use that particular.
So is that cost like on this, is that just what we pay, or is that the whole?
Just what we pay,
Just what we pay?
yes. Shared special ed administrative services and then special ed cooperative membership. Administrative services, we share a coordinator with many other districts. I think even Wilmer is one of those districts, so that's the salary. Those expenses are spread out across the co-op with the other districts as well. So you can see that amount, $206,000 is pretty much what we have been paying. That'll go down, not considerably, but it'll go down, 30-some thousand dollars.
So, side note, not related to this contract, but Stars Online Academy
Yes,
with entering into our open ed contract.
different,
Okay,
completely different.
Oh, just like your college, is that like
We have a
college
student,
courses through
nope,
that
we have
too,
a
or not?
student now that is doing the majority of his classes online. This last semester, those are all online classes through the co-op. The open ed is targeting homeschool students.
okay,
Yeah, so we have a student that had a medical issue this year, brought to our attention before the school year started. Could not come to school, but wanted to retain enrollment here. So we retain the enrollment, we just pay for those classes.
okay.
She's in the Stars Academy too. Different than what open enrollment, or open ed would be.
So we wouldn't
With the
move
what-
to gear students towards that open ed.
We
They
don't want, yeah, we don't wanna do that.
Yeah.
Because, we don't want an exorbitant amount of our currently enrolled students.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Is that K to 12 in the stars, or is that Connect?
Well, by state law, so the online learning law was passed 4 years ago, where any student that wants to do supplemental online classes has to have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some discretion in that, not a lot. So basically, if they enroll into these online, if they enroll in Stars Online Academy before the beginning of a semester, there's not much we can do to say no.
Got it.
Luckily, we really haven't had kids jumping to online. I mean, there are a lot of districts that have, there are a lot of districts that are losing students. There are so many online school providers in the state, I'll bet there's 150.
Mhm.
Then we have Connections Academy, there's an online charter school. We have a lot of kids that have jumped in different districts to the online program, but not here. And I think it's a lot to say about the building, about the staff, about the families, not letting their students, not letting their kids go that direction. I've seen kids go to online learning that have a hard time in the classroom. So,
Yeah.
not good for them.
Sometimes that's where they go to online.
Whoa,
Whoops, follow her backwards.
That could have been.
put that on Tom's
Yeah.
bill.
But the quality of the learning is.
I'm just thinking, what would we have done if you kept going backwards?
I would've,
I know what you would have done.
Yeah.
Probably not. So give me a heads up.
yeah,
But the quality of the learning is, that's what we gotta focus on too.
Especially when you have students that need, extra help in the classroom, some remedial work, things like that. You don't get that through online learning.
right.
So yeah, if we can provide, if it's needed and it's gonna give them a better education, and we've already budgeted, so.
So does that number depend on how many students we have doing online, or is that just what it
Yes.
is?
Yeah.
Varies.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Any questions on that?
Well, yeah, we're looking at, total cost 206,000, but yeah,
Which is what it's been budgeted for year over year.
I'm glad to see that what your plans are is gonna be dropping that.
It'll be helpful, it's not gonna be any glamorous increase
No.
to unassigned, but, I
Well, it's a
don't believe
shift,
in, I don't believe in paying for something we're not using to
Yeah.
that extent.
agreed, and it's a shift, so we save the money there, and that's how we justify having Jordan still doing everything.
Yep, I agree.
And I just feel like it's been such a value add having him so clear and factual and easy to navigate, so.
Yep, and I have a good working relationship with him. Stacy's building that working relationship too, so I mean, it's easy to email him and get a good reply.
Yeah.
And he also coaches basketball, so it doesn't happen immediately, but we typically get good response from him, and
Yeah.
he's pretty thorough. And he makes it easier to understand as well.
Mhm.
I'd like to thank you for bringing up the point to check the business management side too, just so we're not accidentally double dipping for services, so. There's any other questions on regarding our cooperative contract or? Sound like you did a good job of reviewing that, so,
With the help of Jordan,
yeah.
I had to make sure that he's able to pick up where we're letting go, so.
Yep.
So is that the end of your, all
That's
your
it for my
reports?
report, yes.
On your enrollment report, what's the enrollment look like for kindergarten next year? Are you starting to get a feel for that?
30, I think we're projected about 34 right now.
Yeah.
That could change either way, of course, by
Yeah.
the time we come up to it. But when I did enrollment projections, I kept that number steady for the next 5 years, just to be on the safe side. We had 38 this year, which is, when you're looking year over year, that's a huge increase. But that keeps that kind of odd shaped thing growing. Instead of having that weird hourglass design in our enrollment where we're kind of skinny in the middle, that's gonna change it. I mean, when that sixth grade class moves over, I mean, we're gonna be steady between, lower 20s to 30 something for quite some time.
It's kind of nice to have it uniform throughout instead of having, like we struggled out with that, a couple of real small classes and you go back up and that makes it hard to plan and everything for, let alone the finance impact.
Mhm.
That is right.
Last thing on there.
Superintendent.
You find it?
There you go. Wait, right.
What do we start the school year
Where's
at?
his enrollment?
About that.
About
So it's
that
been, it's been about some come in, some go out, for whatever reasons.
And I can't remember what the, cause there's a breaking time, is if the kids open to roll in and after October, is there a break for that, there's a cutoff there, then we have to wait for the money for the next year, how?
So we usually, everything goes in the system at the end of the year, it goes into Mars, and the Mars reporting is what determines what our budget, so we're not necessarily funding on time, but everything's taken into account, when they come in, what percentage of the school year, if they're here part-time, full-time, all of that's taken into consideration, so it's all factored. Weighted factors, high school's 1.2, full-day kindergarten through sixth grade is a 1 ADM. 7th through 12th is 1.2 ADM because those classes cost more money to teach because it might be chemistry and we need extra supplies. Shop class, we need extra supplies. So at the end of the year, all of that's factored in. The time in school, the time enrolled in the district, part-time, full-time, all of that.
Are you talking the state funding?
Yeah, I was just thinking like for the open,
Like,
the
isn't there a
kids that
cutoff,
open.
like after October, then if somebody were to
Yeah.
transfer out or in, like that won't change?
We'll get a portion.
We get a portion of it.
Okay,
Is that like a monthly deal, they prorate it? How many ever months they're here, or is it right to the day, or?
Yeah. How many months throughout the year? Yeah. The amount of full-time enrollment for the year. You could raise your seat too, Brian, if you wanted to.
Oh, I guess it's right.
you like that,
Still break it.
Yeah, don't lean back.
yeah,
Try.
Tom's trying to wreck the brand new school.
I know,
Somebody's always doing it.
seeing what I would've hit if I fell over backwards, but,
That is
So much for
cool.
that, so much for that surplus.
yeah,
I could probably sneak into the old bill and get an A chair for your old chair.
Yeah,
I like these, but there's one over there too. Other than that, we can, any other questions for Mr. Godfrey for regarding his reports or the finances? Don't really hear anything, it sounds like done more or so. Otherwise, we move on to our consent agenda. And the monthly bills would have been found with the previous figure. Business manager reports, I suppose, it's, and then it's listed on here if we have questions on our monthly bills, and then the minutes. 6.2, they're listed down here as well. February 4th minutes and then the January 21st meeting minutes. Contract approvals. Mark Jones for boiler inspections, Paige Lingle. That's when we're moving to
9.4.
9.4, so we move that out of the consent agenda, and Bill Berry for assistant track and field, and Heather Olson for the junior high track and field, so we'll just cross out the Paige Lingle. That'll be moving to a separate, the action item, so. And then I don't see any resignation to retire.
Yep, Kendra.
Besides Kendra, yeah. For assistant, yeah, it was a page break, thanks. I was getting good, so. So we got, remember, I guess Kendra Ingen for service. We have a motion to accept our consent items, our consent agenda. Nate, motions to accept the consent agenda, we have a second.
I'll second.
Megan seconds. All in favor to accept our consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to approve our consent agenda, and we'd like to, and also thank Kendra Ingen for her time and service with us, so. We move on to our recognitions or donations. The lovely part you guys, every week, every month you want to hear me read here, so.
We really enjoy it.
With that. Donations, resolutions accepting and donations of the grants. I maybe should have cleaned my glasses here. Whereas Minnesota statutes 12.3B, subdivision 6 provides the board may receive for the benefit of the district requests, donations, or gifts for any proper purpose and apply the same to the purpose designated in that behalf. The board may act as a trustee of any trust created to provide pupils of the district with advanced education after completion of high school and the advancement of education. And whereas Minnesota State Statutes 465.03 provides any city, county, school district, or town may accept a grant or device of real estate, of real or personal property, and maintain such property for the benefit of its citizens in accordance with the terms prescribed by the donor. Nothing herein shall authorize such acceptance or use for religious or sectarian purposes. Every such acceptance shall be by resolution of the governing body and adopted by 2/3 majority of its members, expressing such terms in full. And whereas every such acceptance shall be by resolution of the governing body adopted by 2/3 majority of its members, expressing such terms in full. Therefore be resolved that the school board of Red Rock Central School District 2884 gratefully accepts the following donations as identified below. We have a donation from United Methodist Church going towards the weekend food program of $100. Anita and Leonard Runk, the Red Rock Central audio interface for the auditorium of $175 and $175.50. And then our Red Rock Central PTA with a donation for MCA testing of $3,800.
And that's for incentives for our testers. I think we need to continuously thank our PTA.
Yeah, truly.
Amazing, amazing things they do, and that's a very gracious donation. It's for our students to go to the movie theater after MCA testing.
Awesome.
I'd like to thank the PTA personally for that.
Well, thank you for that donation.
Thank you.
Buy your gala tickets.
So, vote on adoption. We need to have a motion to accept our donations as listed here.
Still move.
I guess I don't know since I've done it, and then we'll just,
Yeah, second.
we have a second to move on to that.
I'll second it.
Troy, we have a second. We'll go around for a resolution for all in favor.
Erickson, yes.
Grant, yes.
Anchor, yes.
Keel, yes.
All yes.
Erickson, yes.
Warner, yes.
Now, let's see, and we all voted in favor majority, the vote on the adoption of the resolution was blown out all majority, so whereupon said resolution was declared duly adopted by the school board of Red Rock Central, so we appreciate all the donations. And especially, yeah, it's a blowout here, seeing the PTA being involved like that, it's still an amazing thing, so we appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll move on to our, where are we at now? I got wore out going through our donations here, so move on to our new business. Looks like, so 9.1 for our new business, we review our 2026 to 2027 Red Rock Central District calendar.
So this is what I presented to the board at a work session. I did correct those dates in the middle to reflect parent-teacher conferences. This is a collaboration between administration and the EA.
So you have September 8th in orange. There's no
First day
orange,
of school.
the first day, you know,
Yes.
okay. Didn't know if that should be changed, or that, do you want that highlighted that way?
Yeah, if you look at that middle band, first last day of school,
Yeah.
those are both highlighted in orange.
Mine's green.
I'm colorblind.
Oh.
Hey, it's not funny. My kids laugh at me. My kids
It's actually
It was just the
orange.
way you said it.
Yeah.
my wife uses pink golf balls, and when she hits the ball, I can't find them.
Well, duh, nobody can.
She can, but when they're sitting right next to me, I
Already
still
in the
can't find the ball.
Yeah, so it's orange on the screen.
You're excused. The last page, right?
Yeah.
Green.
The last day is green, the other one's orange.
Yeah, that's.
I'll fix it. I'll find somebody that can tell me what.
You got
it looks like. I think you have, but I'm not kidding.
The right shade of
Found
green.
a flaw in you, Tim.
If it's red or green, I'm hurting.
So
The rest
we
of it
have,
looks good.
Yeah.
so we have a motion to accept our calendar for our 9.1, our school district calendar for the 26-27 year. Do we need to, what, we need to accept that?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Troy makes the motion and Jake seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to accept our school district calendar for the 26-27 year.
Graduation's gonna be weird.
A bunch of us.
That's just different.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be different.
I'm already strategizing how we're gonna do that to make it comfortable. Cause I'm sure,
Nobody's uncomfortable. Mine's this year.
but I mean, we're gonna have a lot of board members. I mean, I'm sure traditionally, when a board member has a child graduating, you come up and you help with that. We just have a lot of them this year, so.
Oh, I'm talking next year will be different, having it a week.
Oh, I
Sooner.
see.
Yeah, gotcha.
My daughter was supposed to be in this class, but we held her back, otherwise we'd had one more.
We would have had 6. Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Almost just have a meeting up at the.
No kidding.
Oh, what's the next? Here we have our pay equity report.
This is a report that every school district is responsible for submitting to MDE every year. Shows the balance of male and female and the different job types. I do have a signature block for Nate. It's just for your review. It's already been submitted and accepted by the state. It's just one of those different things in Minnesota you have to do every year.
So we don't wanna reject that one. I don't think anybody would disagree.
Probably wouldn't be good to reject it.
Now, is there any questions regarding the pay equity report?
Pass it around to Nate for me.
Other than that, we have a motion to approve our pay equity report.
So move.
I mean, there's
Motion by
nothing,
Jake, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Troy. Is there any other questions or concerns?
there's nothing really in here of any substance.
No, not really.
Like I mean, what actually are we approving in here? Just that the report is being filed with the state?
Yeah, the report's been submitted.
Okay. Weird.
So then we change the date.
No, they're on 9-2, they're improving 9-2. Okay, you're gonna sign.
There.
Okay.
Other than that, do we,
Well, that's what I was
here, we don't have any more? Looks like Nate's got his figured out the dates and all that. Alright, all in favor for our pay equity report, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to pass our pay equity report. Move on to our 9.3, which is change our March regular board meeting date to Tuesday, March 17th. Then that's to help our superintendent.
Help the superintendent's wife.
Oh, wife,
Yeah.
oh, keep passing the buck here, so.
Don't say
Happy
that.
wife, happy
Hopefully she's not
superintendent.
watching. I probably shouldn't have said that. I'll tell her,
Hey.
nah, you don't watch the board meeting.
Here we,
Do what you gotta do, that's what I
we're
would
here to
say.
support her, so
Yeah.
she's gotta put up with you, so we gotta make sure she's happy.
It's not easy, I'll vouch for that.
I'll make a motion to move it to Tuesday, the 17th.
Brian makes the motion, do we have a second?
I'll second, but can somebody send out a reminder?
Yes, we'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Just gonna say that.
Megan seconds that, and with a reminder, to send a reminder out, so.
I'll send a calendar invite for all board members too.
Okay.
You'll have that on your calendar and then we'll do something, make sure Facebook gets notified.
Some other questions, comments regarding the board meeting change? Hearing none, all in favor to change the March regular board meeting date to Tuesday, March 17th, say aye.
Aye.
Hey,
Opposed? Motion carries, we'll change our March regular board meeting to Tuesday, March 17th. We'll move on to our 9.4, which is this discussion and on the volleyball coach for Paige Lingle. Do we have any discussions regarding that, like when we pulled it out here, or are we just gonna
just, how many applicants did we get? Just one?
Couple inquiries, but no other official applications. So,
We were considering just staying it in-house and assigning it to someone in the district, like, Sarah Archstein did it. A lot of the drama that's happened in that program is that Sarah Archstein's always done a great job when she was coaching in the past, and
I've been a part of the schools for 20 years and I never had to assign someone to do a job that they didn't wanna do.
Yeah, we wouldn't necessarily
really-
assign it, we would open it in-house.
in-house.
It was open in-house, well.
I was just curious if how many, if we had other,
Yeah, we had
Applicants.
a couple other inquiries, but they never officially applied,
apply?
so yeah.
Well, and with these resignations, we'll have more openings too.
So yeah, we'll have an assistant opening now. I mean, I think it's very important to have someone on staff to be a part of the coaching staff in some capacity, just from a communication standpoint. But that also involves people stepping up. I mean, if you get no applicants for anything, then yeah, then you kinda are forced to assign someone
okay,
that you feel qualified, that, yeah, that's in there. It's, I would assume it's in the union contract, right of duty as assigned, but
That's
you
still a
don't-
tough one.
you don't want to have to do that,
well, you want someone that wants to do it too, but
yeah.
I was just wondering how many applicants we had, and
Yeah, I was hopeful we would get more than one, but.
Yeah.
I know who it's not gonna be.
what's that?
Yes, I know who it's not gonna be.
You?
Dr. Godfrey.
Been there.
You don't think I can coach volleyball?
What's that?
You thought I was gonna say myself.
Yeah,
Yes, I would.
I thought I was gonna say you.
Yeah, me and volleyball. I don't know much about that one. I don't know what's anything.
Yeah, you're the spike pro.
That was a height insult.
Let's be real, he's the libero
The
coach.
libero, okay.
Yeah, spike coach usually here, height wise.
Mhm.
They make boxes for that stuff.
Yeah,
Power serve.
Well, there's room for two hitters, isn't there? You and Nate.
We could take,
Coach and assistant coach right there.
Yeah, I see that coming.
We'll have a bunch of football playing girls playing volleyball after that, I'm sure.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh. Well, Matt, do we have a motion to hire Paige Lingo as a head volleyball coach?
I'll make a motion.
Brian makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Jake seconds. Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, all in favor to hire Paige Lingo as the head volleyball coach, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
So we do roll call.
Roll call.
Harrison, yes.
Grant, yes.
Himker, yes.
Keel, yes.
Oh, yes.
Erickson, no.
Warner, yes.
Motion passes 6-1. Make note of that Troy was the no. Just to be legal, I suppose. Just so it's,
Just record.
cause Durian's not here, so make sure she can hear it. So. Then we'll move on to our 9.5, which would be our discussion on the storage container location discussion. Oh, Brian, you brought this up.
I walked out there Sunday after church and you could walk on the grass, but like where we were gonna put them, it's all mud, like.
Probably gonna be mud for a while. Do we need to put some gravel over there?
No, I will just tell you, every time I walk
It's muddy
there
every day.
often.
Yeah.
And because of what it was previously, I'm sure you can speak to this too, just being in your backyard, but it's like clay. And so
Egg lime.
it's
slime.
it is, and it's slimy, even if you get a 10-minute rain.
I know. So then I was standing there looking, and I'm like, by the time you get out of the grass, up on that stuff, you're like at least 50 feet from the trees. So they're kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And well, not like this winter, but most winters you won't be able to get out there if it snows to get anything out of them anyways.
And anywhere else out there wouldn't probably make a lot of sense either, right?
Well, my thought was the football stuff needs to be in there. Well, that shed isn't necessarily full, and a lot of that stuff could go in a container somewhere else, so that shed's right by the practice field, so I
Yeah.
thought, well, if the football stuff can go in there, we could set the containers like by this back parking lot.
They're so ugly.
You could put the doors right on the asphalt, it'd be super easy to get stuff in and out of them. I don't know how much
Ugh.
you're gonna go in and out.
Oh,
Some people have, dressed them up with siding on them,
Yeah, I've seen the ones like
but
by Pinions over in Springfield.
it would be, after I talked to Brian and I talked, and I drove through it, for accessibility would make sense back there. Then we talked about softball field. We're not going to spend that much money prepping the area, and the day that we can afford a softball field, well, good, we'll deal with them at that point, we could, because
I don't think
you
that'll
have
ever
it,
go
or,
there
what's
anyway.
that?
I don't think that'll ever go there anyway.
Yeah.
Haven't we already established out there? For
Yeah.
field, if we did it,
For field.
What's that?
for softball
To
field?
be out there?
I
Okay.
think
I
so.
know one
Or
was,
practice, we were talking about doing something back here, there was some
I
talk.
thought it was
but-
softball up here, and then there was like more than.
I thought it was a kid's little league baseball field back
Yeah.
there or something like that.
So, I hear what you're saying, like, I would want the opinion of the football coaches, because I know that they honestly like that storage container for a lot of those pads and things.
We'd have to make sure that if we don't have enough room in the current building,
Yeah,
then they would need.
That shed's bigger than a container, so.
It is.
It fits in a container. And the
it totally
goalposts
is.
are in there and stuff, but they're still,
but like
there's
critters and
concrete
things,
under.
like those storage containers are actually nice for that, it keeps everything out, versus the
Right.
shed, which is
Yeah.
not really even airtight, like that's just set.
What are we all gonna store in these?
I think they have like the sleds and the,
I mean, just off, is it only for football that we're using them for, or?
Well, for the
Definitely-
one.
Yeah,
What's
one will
that?
definitely-
for the one,
That's the one that's in Sanborn right
that's
now.
one that's in Sanborn.
So the other one, I've talked with Mr. Berry about throwing some of his items in there, cause they definitely, I mean, in the shop, we're still working on getting that cleaned up.
Yeah,
There's just a variety of different things we can use the other one for.
And just making sure, you know, it's accessible, you know, I really, doesn't matter to me, just as long as you do it right. And we get it to where it makes sense for whoever's accessing it, so we don't make a decision and
yeah,
all of a sudden we got the staff and all the coaches like, why do you guys put them there? That makes no sense, but, we gotta make sure we get them in the right spot.
well, what I foresee storing in them would be long-term storage stuff, so like the extra tiles, seats, like building supplies that are taking up space all over, and like long-term storage, is that right?
Yes, well,
It's not gonna be like day-to-day usage,
There'll
other
be-
than the football equipment.
there'll be some, Mr. Berry will have some stuff in there, he won't need it every single day,
So that would be like on door side or like the
yeah,
end.
be closest.
Yeah,
Well, that wouldn't make a lot of sense to have way out there.
right.
Was
Wouldn't be
it
too convenient
units?
for him at all.
No.
Two people, one up there and one here, do you put them together? I mean, if it's for football, it makes sense out there, do you throw the one out there for football, one over
You
here
could
for?
set it right beside the shed out there.
Yeah,
That's it.
if we need to, you know, maybe we don't only need one. Do we own both now?
Yes.
Oh, we do own
Yeah.
both.
It probably wouldn't look very nice either, but is there room
between the building and the CT? Not really.
No.
No, and even there was, that's where long-term, we're talking about greenhouse.
Yeah, I know, that was the other thing. I didn't know, was it there or was it more to the east?
No,
I thought it
that
was on the
spot.
north side of the building.
we had talked about the north side, but it makes more sense just to put it on that concrete
Okay.
slab,
Okay.
cause that, we have to put a concrete slab down anyway, so that
Gotcha.
just makes sense.
Who's gonna be accessing these things the most?
Bill and
Football, during football season, they'll be accessing quite a bit.
Why don't we also just ask people that are gonna be accessing them the
Right.
most, what would you prefer, and what would your recommendations be? Cause then we're, you know, working with them and then trying to get a plan with them versus us thinking we got the best plan,
Yeah.
and it's really the wrong plan.
Yeah.
I love the idea of wrapping them or painting them, putting our logo on the side, something to make it a little less of
There you
a,
go, plain and black with the RRC logo on it.
yeah, or big falcon on the side or
At least
something.
look a little better than.
Yeah, it wouldn't look so
It's not new
temporary.
siding, but.
But
Right.
I'm not using them, so it doesn't
Yeah.
affect me, but I wanna make sure we are working with whoever's using them.
The other thing we gotta remember too is we're gonna move that other building, that small garage. So we're gonna have to have a location for that.
Is that possibly used for a concession stand out here for football?
The one way out there?
It's got overhead doors on both ends of it, you can
I'm sure
sell
it
tickets
does.
out of one end
Yeah.
and concessions out of the other.
Yeah.
I mean, just build a counter right inside the overhead door, open the door and.
Yeah, if we put a
It wouldn't
concrete
take-
slab down, we still have the issue with no water to it. If it were an inspected stand, we might be getting in trouble,
Mm-hmm,
cause our concession stands are open to food and health inspections.
There's water in this one out here.
yeah,
Yeah, hydrant is it?
Mhm.
But there's a hydrant, well, I was gonna say, there's a hydrant right by the crow's nest yet, isn't there?
You run a hose.
Yeah, we
Or
run
can you
along
build a
those.
concession stand underneath the crow?
That's what I'm saying, put it by the crow's nest and just,
I don't know,
you got the water.
I know that, I mean, don't we store, what previously over there, wasn't that building used for, it was built and used
Wrestling
for
mats.
wrestling mats. Like,
that's
that's-
why if the containers over
I
here.
do think somebody
could carry
did
it
promise, Mr. Hubert, that he could store, cause I think he has wrestling stuff in it now.
I think he should also be part of the conversation because I had spoken to him one time and he had loosely mentioned maybe a storage container making more sense than that. Because they are airtight and
sealed,
like
Right.
Yeah.
keep everything out, but I don't wanna
You
quote him
wouldn't
on
need
that.
that then, maybe, you mean?
Mr. Pack, do you think wrestling would need that much storage?
We have 5 wrestling mats.
Once they're rolled up. How long are they rolled up, do you remember?
That container is 40 feet long though, looking at the wrestling mats,
I don't know, they come in pieces, I mean, they're sitting in the hallway right
yeah,
now.
I
I
would
don't
say
think.
they're 15 feet
It's
wide,
like-
maybe.
15 apiece.
Are we over on, like, do we need 5 wrestling mats? We have to have 5 wrestling mats? Or is that something we
Have you ever
have,
used 5 wrestling mats? No.
do we use, that's what I'm saying, do we utilize them?
Yes, for
I mean, there was talk when we got the 2 new ones a couple years ago, they were gonna get rid of the red one, I think,
Yeah.
but they haven't.
So maybe that's a
So
Clayton
there was stuff we
question.
have, I don't wanna, there was talk of like not needing that anymore.
Yeah,
They still have it, we haven't got rid of any mats since we've got the 2 new ones, so.
so I think
Would it
you're
be-
exactly right, I think we need to pull the people in who are directly impacted by,
And then, but you have
That.
different opinions, but at least the ones that are mostly affected,
yeah.
bring a recommendation to us and we'll try to figure out what makes the most sense with all those recommendations.
So really, it's the 2 storage containers and the shed over there that we have to get a home for.
So that shed,
is your
once you pour concrete, that's kind of permanent, I would say.
Yeah,
The containers, you should really put rock underneath of them, so it's
Right.
not,
Yes.
they're not
Right.
permanent, but you don't wanna be moving them every year or two either.
Right.
'cause
You want
And then you'll be
You'll
able to,
have,
I think we
5
build
to
it up a
7
little bit,
bucks.
so you have some drainage around there too.
Yeah.
you'll have 500 to 1,000 bucks in to get them set probably.
Mhm.
yeah, easily.
And there's
But-
no restrictions of like from the city or anything where we can't put them or anything like that?
But we use red rock, you know, and get up against the sides, it's not gonna rust, but then you're also keep the rodents from
Yeah,
going
we
on.
don't need to gun houses.
an idea that I had for where that little shed could go is out in that bump out right outside of the gym. If that is going to store wrestling mats,
So, whenever we build a maintenance shop, whenever that may be.
yeah,
That's where that should go, so.
that is where that should go. So
I
we
hate to
shouldn't
put
really park that
something-
there,
You know, that shed's kind of permanent once you set it down, once you pour concrete for it.
that's true.
I mean, not that you can't move it, but it's kind of a,
Mr. Pack, you
Spending
wanna
money to
reach
do the
out,
same thing.
email coaches,
Yeah, typed it up already.
plus Bill.
You like that idea, Tim?
Yeah.
That's reaching out to the people that are most affected.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you are exactly right though, because all of the property, that bump out is where a maintenance shed would make the absolute most sense. Right by the, on the grass, like behind the loading dock area.
It's not ideal, but if it's right east of this parking lot, they could carry the wrestling mats over there. It's
Yeah.
not, they're wrestlers, they need exercise, right? It's not that far where they have to haul them.
No,
but it's a little bit of.
You got some exit doors.
Well,
it's-
to be fair, it's probably the same distance they were hauling over there by the time they pulled them into the gym.
Once you get outside, it's easy walking.
Yeah.
Going through doors ways is a tough part with them things.
Yeah.
It sounds like we'll just, we had some guidance now, some direction here.
You were gonna talk to him, Colby? Yep. Okay.
Hopefully we can have an answer here in a month or. Hopefully, so then at least we got some
Yeah, you
direction on
kinda
plan
gotta
for
have
spring.
If you're gonna dig this grass out, if you're gonna set them on grass, you kinda gotta wait till it's thawed.
Yeah.
We're gonna move them before it's thawed too, and
I mean, I can tell you Isaac's response is gonna be, I wanna guarantee that we're actually practicing out here before
That
we
will
do
be.
something. I mean, I
Right, yeah.
can put words in his mouth right now, I can promise you, until I actually practice out there, I don't care where they go.
Yeah.
I think some of us were
Cause
saying
he's
that
been,
last year.
cause he's been told he's gonna be practicing there and he's been there for 2 years now, so that will be his response. Until I know I'm gonna practice there, I don't care where they go.
Did anybody look in the fall of what the condition was of that practice field? Like, was it grass after they reseeded and everything? I didn't even go out there after.
It's coming
It's
back.
better.
It's
Better.
coming back. Yep, definitely better.
It was
Okay.
better.
Doesn't look like alfalfa anymore.
Yeah.
They will need to spray that
Spray it and
this spring,
I think probably overseed a little bit
won't hurt.
and then some fertilizer down. Spray it and then do those other.
But summer practice, like, are we looking at that being possible out here?
They're to where.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, he won't let you move that one. I
We
mean,
talked,
Yeah, no, and I
we
would.
talked earlier on the new year that we were thinking about doing some contracting with some of the groundskeeping too, is that still on the?
Yep, so the way we'll have to do that is first we have to petition the union and I'm sure they'll agree because we just don't have the manpower to do it all ourselves. When we
Oh,
do that, then we'll just do an MOU with the union and that'll be just an annual thing we do. I don't see that being a problem, just because we don't have the personnel to keep it with grounds maintenance as it is. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know where we were at on that, and we discussed it, so.
yeah, we'll have to do turf maintenance anyways. Do you typically do turf maintenance year to year?
inside the field.
Yeah. Overseed fertilizer.
Isaac does it at the end of the fall, guy comes in. And then, yeah, when they call Seth from Wyndham comes in and takes care of the inside the football and baseball fields.
So probably look at doing something similar, expanding the contract with it. And the main thing is grass cutting, mowing the lawn over the summer. We gotta do something different, obviously. But we'll work on that when the time comes and we'll talk with the union about it.
Cause yeah, we need some weed control for sure in the summer.
Yes.
We don't need a repeat of last summer, so.
I'm not worried about that as much as I am worried about landscaping maintenance.
Yeah, so we got direction on the containers and storage stuff, so. I think that was our last thing, we didn't really, since we have a direction on there, I don't think we need to ask for any motion, we didn't have any action on that, so we've got a plan now to move forward with those, so. Well, then our succeeding meetings will be school board special meeting, that'd be Wednesday the 4th at 5 P.M. here, and that's in regard, that what we're planning on,
Yes, special meeting Wednesday, 4th call.
yeah,
And then
for the bond.
Megan asked for a closed session that to talk about superintendent contract.
Okay.
You probably could,
On the fourth?
on the 4th, you could probably do negotiations
Update.
update, yeah.
Okay.
You get time for that. That's why I put it labor relations, so.
Okay, perfect.
And then the regular school board meeting, remember that's Tuesday, March 17th.
I'll update it on this too, after the meeting, I'll probably tomorrow, I'll update it in the agenda too.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Any other questions regarding our plans?
I was just wondering, the concern that was shared with us via email, has that been taken care of? The level 4 or whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
I had an issue when I came in, so the role of 504 coordinator has kind of bounced around the last couple of years. Coming in, I took it over, and there was an issue finding documentation. So I didn't even know that one existed, but we got that done pretty expeditiously. Signed copy went home already.
Okay. Matt, looks like we should be able to adjourn. Whatever time this is. 6:13. So, thanks everybody for attending.
You betcha.
Do you have a